Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is freezing today, but the sun is out, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to show you our boat in a bit more detail. It hasn't featured in any videos yet, apart from the first one, but we haven't done any proper camping in it. So I just thought I'd show you around it and look at some of the features that we have already done to improve the actual boat itself. So let's get this cover off and show you around. Right, now this is a bit precarious with a camera. Ugh, we're in. Right, I'm just going to sit at the back here and just give you an overview. I haven't taken the cover completely off. I hope the road noise isn't too bad. But yeah, so that's that view. Let's give you a view here. We've got the seats at the back there. Now you may have noticed that I've been having to duck, and that's because the boat is actually under a carport. Keeps most of the weather off it when we're not using it, and we also put a cover on it as well, which is just keeps all the dust, because we get a lot of road dust coming from the busy road, and it just causes a nightmare really. So anything to keep that down, to stop having to clean it so much. Right, first of all, we've got the folding sunbed. So we've just got the normal seats, which I was sitting on just a minute ago, and that actually, there's a bottom plank here which actually folds out and makes a big sunbed. In this hatch we have just the fuel tank and batteries and a few other bits and bobs. That's the actual canopy. Boats do get a bit mildew and mouldy. That's just part of it. I will go round and clean all that up at the start of the next season. It's a constant battle trying to keep on top of that with a boat. You've got the table leg there, and that is actually stored in the cabin, which I'll show you in a minute. There is also one, don't know if you noticed, but there is also one just there as well. So there's two table legs, because we can have a table here, and there's one in the small cabin as well. Right, we're at the helm. This is where all the fun happens. Obviously you've got your steering wheel, but you've also got your navigation system. This is the Garmin EcoMap CV. It's quite an old one. One day I do want to upgrade. I don't know whether to go with the Sinrad. Now Sinrad make a 9-inch version of this. This is the 7-inch. They do make a 9-inch version, which would just about fit in that gap. Just behind here, I can just take this off, is the Fusion entertainment system. That allows Bluetooth connection, so that I can link to my phone and Spotify and get some music, which comes through these speakers here, one there and just one over on that side as well. You also see there's some lights underneath which just glow blue, which are quite cool in the evenings. Normal sort of switches here. You've got your internal lighting, you've got your exterior lighting and your bilge pump. Another upgrade that came with this boat was the actual seats themselves, but they've actually got gas struts on them. You've got the bolster which pushes up, so when you're actually piloting the boat, you can sit on these, and it just raises you up, so you're not sitting and you're not standing, and just gives you a bit of support so that you can look over the top of the boat. You know, you could never get them to adjust quite right. So the previous owner put some gas struts on the seats as well. So that means that I can adjust it perfectly to my seating position, which is great. Okay, now let's look at the fun part, where we can actually camp. Let me climb in here. Oh, there we go. Oh, Right, now this is our little cabin. I look at this boat as like a bit of a floating van life, really. It's got a nice little sleeping area. You can pooter around everywhere when you want during the day, and then you've got somewhere to camp in the evening. And the marinas are just like campsites, really. They've got all the toilet facilities, the LSIM points. You know, you can just really enjoy the marina for what it is. You've got electrical hookups, water, everything that you get on the campsite. You've got it here, and we just have to do it in the same way that you would with van life. Okay, as you can see, this is quite a reasonable size. You've got a sunroof just up there, which we open up in the evenings just to get some air circulation. We've got a carbon monoxide sensor over there, a couple of little shelves. These lights, when the battery's actually plugged in, you can just tap them and they will turn on. And just there we have a battery powered one which we use just for when we're camping. Also a 12-volt plug there, which can be handy. And this is me sitting back. I've got my sealskins on because it was so cold on the GRP floor that I didn't want to wear my shoes in here, so I've got my sealskins on, which are waterproof socks, and they're just super thick and keep you warm. As you can see, we've got the table leg here and plenty of space. So boating is a totally different experience to caravanning, but you've still got the camping element, which is amazing. And like I say, like the marinas are just like campsites, really. And hopefully we'll be able to share that with you in future videos. Normally boats of this size don't have the head height that this one has. This is quite unique. We searched for years down at the boat show trying to find the type of boat that we wanted that would suit our needs, which was more sort of focused on like van life camping, where it's just a small space where you can sleep overnight, but you can still enjoy all the facilities. So that's what we were aiming for within a boat. So we needed something to do that, and something that we could take our whole family on. And this one was the only one that's ticked that box. The other issues we had with our specific needs were that it had to fit on our driveway. Now, most of the boats are just a little bit too wide to fit on a driveway properly, especially our narrow driveway, and we share it with our neighbour. So that was always a bit of a challenge. So we were restricted to the width that we could have, and that meant the width of the trailer as well. So our choice was restricted quite a lot, but the Quicksilver 555 ticked every box, and we just knew we had to have it. So we've been dreaming about owning this boat for probably about 5 years. And now we actually own one, so I'm so pleased, and we just want to try and enjoy it next year. But before I show you the seating area, I just wanted to show you the back panel here and what we intend to do to improve it further. Now currently we have like these baskets. Now I don't know how they've actually been stuck on. I'm hoping I can just see some sort of double-sided sticky tape there. I'm hoping these ones are the same, and we don't have to sort of yank off any bits of plastic or GRP. But what I want to do is reposition these and actually have a tube heater. Now I don't know if you've seen the types of heaters that you put in greenhouses and everything else, and they use it in the marine industry as well, where it's just a plastic tube and the element is inside. So there's no sort of like hot exposed elements, and the tube just heats up and gets a bit of warmth. When we get our electric in, we just have an RCD extension lead for camping, and we plug all our electric in there. So we'll be able to plug in the heater, and it will just take the edge off if it's a bit nippy some nights. And it may mean that we can camp a bit later in the season in the boat as well, which will be amazing. So let me get out of here, and then I will try and set up the table so you can see that. See you in a minute. I'm in. That wasn't very dignified, so I'm glad I didn't show it. But let's have a look at the actual table. As you can see, this is really nice. Got all the headroom I need, and we could have another person there, one person on the angle there, and then another person there. Might be a bit cozy, but you can definitely fit 4 people in here quite nicely. And just with the 2 of you, it's perfect. And like I say, where you're looking from now is normally where our heads are in the evening. We put the television just on the table here, and staying nice and cozy, hopefully, when we get our new heating in. So what got me into boating? It was actually Sonia who got me into boating. One day she just turned around, and it was in 2018, and just said, I think we should get a boat. And I really was quite taken back by that, and said, yeah, okay, let's get a boat. So I ended up having to do all the powerboat level 2 training, getting my VHF license, and basically just understanding what I had to do. The next stage was choosing a boat. Now, we had no clue about what boat to choose, so we just did what we thought was right, and we looked for seating space. We went for a bow rider configuration. Now, it had a very shallow hull for planing. It was in immaculate condition for its age. It was 11 years old, and it was immaculate, and I just tried to improve on its current state. It was called Blackbird, and we did have some really fond memories in that. We kept that boat for about 4 years, and we really enjoyed it, but we always knew it just wasn't the right boat for us and for the conditions with the waters that we're around. Our local water will be the Hamble and Southampton waters, which is notoriously choppy, which we came to realise. And you cannot predict that at all. It really, if there's a lot of boats on the water, it just becomes a mess of a wash of chop, and really uncomfortable if you've got a low boat. Now, as you saw from the footage, it was really low to the water, so it was quite scary. And just going around Southampton waters, it would slam on the water so much that we could only ever get up to about 15 miles an hour without it feeling totally uncomfortable. So it was the wrong boat, and we needed to get a new one. And we also wanted to get into the boating camping side of things, which was a dream of ours, to be able to sleep down at the marinas and enjoy that whole environment, which is just so peaceful and relaxing. So that was our goal, and suddenly this boat came along, and we just had to buy it, and now we have this amazing boat. Sure, there's a few things that we can do to upgrade it and improve it and restore certain things, which I will do different videos on, hopefully, in the future. But we have already made a big start on that with the sunbed, which you saw opened up earlier on. We got that done. We also got some cushions for the front here. There's a front sun deck, so you can pop cushions onto the front here, and it just allows people to be able to sit out on the front of the boat when you're going down a river or something and it's a sunny day. The other improvement that we did was on the trailer. I know we've got an extreme trailer, and One thing from our previous boat we realised was that we are having to dunk our wheels in the salt water on our car, and sometimes, depending on the different slipways, you had to go in quite deep, and which was always a bit worrying. I always made sure that I had a four-wheel drive car, but it's always a bit worrying. So I wanted to get an extension pole, and luckily Extreme, I contacted them. They did an extension pole for their trailer, so we went and purchased that, and that's probably been one of the best purchases we've done for this boat so far. It makes launching a breeze, and it's just it's well worth it. Finally, the last update we did was to the trailer as well. Again, now we go to slipways where there isn't a pontoon, so you have to climb up onto the boat, normally from the trailer onto the boat, to be able to then start it and reverse it off the trailer. So I got fabricated some steps. I mocked them up out of wood, took them to a local fabricator, and between us we were able to sort of get the dimensions right and the height right and everything else. Then I went to a galvanizers and got them galvanized, so and then put some sort of gripper tape on, so it came out a really tidy job. That is the end of the boat tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's just brief, showing you the inside of the boat, but it gives you an idea of where we'll be camping in the boat, and hopefully we'll have some fun times next year. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next adventure.